Oh dear, I just realized I was on mute. Okay, so in summary, what I said was we're going to choose the winner of the competition from last week and give them a full essay correction. If you're joining me live or if you're watching the recording, please feel free to ask any questions you have about the feedback I'm giving to the winner. And if you have any questions about how to structure your answer or the content. Hey, Jarvin, good to see you here, as always. Right, so just in case you're not already familiar with how to write a task 2 essay, I have some lessons that I want to share with you because it is important, first of all, to understand what you need to do. And then, of course, you try to do it. All the feedback I can give you will be based on mistakes. So either in this essay competition or in the Task 2 live stream tomorrow, where I will give you feedback. I will give feedback to everyone attending. So the first step should be complete these lessons, practice writing your Task 2 essays, come to my live streams or my my live feedback lessons on Zoom, come use my one-on-one service and find out what mistakes you're making. Okay, we have some other students here. Amanjat, hey there. Hey Gigi, I'm very good, thank you. I saw that you entered, no, you entered the speaking competition, the speaking test lucky draw, and I will choose the winner to that at the end of this video. I will also have the new Task 2 question for next week. I hope I'm not confusing you all. I'm talking about 100 different things at the same time. Setashi, good to see you here and welcome to the video. Okay, so let's focus on this live stream first. And that, of course, means we need to select our winner. So let me just share the software with you. Okay. So, okay, you can all see that now. And what we need to do, if you've entered, you should see your name here. And this will pull up a winner at random for me. And the winner is Amruta. Amruta. Okay, very good. I have an awful memory, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think Amruta was actually the winner last week as well. I won't find my notes quickly enough to verify that. But congratulations anyway, Amruta. Well done. And if you all just give me one moment to find Amruta's essay, and then we'll get started on the feedback. So Amruta. Okay, so I have Amruta's essay here ready to correct. Let me just see if anybody has any questions before we jump into this. No, nobody at the moment. Okay, so let's get a look at the essay. The first thing I am interested in is the number of words. Too short is a problem, too long is also a problem. So this here has 317 words, a little bit long, but really not a problem. As long as Amruta had enough time to proofread their answer, correct whatever vocab or grammar mistakes that they were able to notice, then 370 words isn't ridiculously long. That's okay. All right, so let's get into the question itself then. And here we go. Right, so the first thing I want in Amruta's essay is a paraphrase of the question statement. So this question statement says, in many countries, governments spend large sums of money on decorations such as lighting and fireworks to celebrate national holidays. So I want the exact same meaning in the paraphrase, nothing different. So here we have, in many nations, good, a huge amount of money is spent on decorations like firecrackers and lighting by their government to celebrate national holidays. Now, there, we would have to have mentioned a group of people first, but we haven't. However, we've mentioned nations by their. Okay, so that does connect back. Yeah, that's okay. By the nation's governments. Okay, by their governments. So that needs to be plural. It needs to be governments because it was nations in plural. Firecrackers and fireworks are not the same thing. Firework is the one that's up in the sky, and a firecracker is just, something you throw on the ground and it just makes some noise. So I understand that Amrata is trying to avoid using the word fireworks. They're trying to paraphrase the question. They don't want to use the words from the question, but really a firecracker is a different thing. So that was a mistake, and to copy the word fireworks would have been better in this situation. Besides that, this is a good paraphrase. So just one grammar, one vocab mistake. So looking at the rest of the question, why is this the case? So I want one reason why this is the case. What are the benefits for the citizens? So you can see here it says benefits in plural. So we need more than one benefit. So this essay needs three main ideas. One reason and two benefits. So that's what I want next from Amrata in this introduction. So the rest of the introduction should include those three things. This is because it spreads awareness of the importance of the day among their citizens. Good. So that's the reason. Very good. The advantages for citizens are that they get businesses and can enjoy it with their families. Now, this I don't understand. They can get businesses. I don't know what that means. So that's a problem. They can enjoy it with their families. That's perfect. It's specific and it's relevant. So we have a reason. We have an appropriate reason. So the main idea is specific and relevant. So those are the two factors that we need to consider in our main ideas. Is it relevant? Is it specific? If we can say yes to both of those questions, that means the idea is appropriate. So Amrata has done a good job of developing main ideas that are appropriate. Just this vocabulary choice does not communicate the idea clearly here. Okay, so that's the introduction. Let me just see if anybody has any questions here. Sharon Preet, three main ideas. Exactly. Yep. Akhil, hello to you. Okay, so as I said, if you've joined me live or if you're watching the recording, do ask whatever questions you have about my feedback, about the answer, about the question. So feel free to get involved. Okay, so from there, we're going to look at Amrata's first body paragraph. Now, let me just explain what I'm looking for. So this here, this reason is what I want discussed in that first body paragraph. I don't want any other ideas. I don't want the idea to change. I just want this idea to be repeated in the first sentence, the topic sentence, and then I want that explained. Okay, so here we go. Governments spend a large amount of money on decorations as it spreads, so just a subject-verb agreement there, as it spreads awareness among their citizens. This could have been clearer. What spreads awareness of what? So this was clearer in the introduction. Spreads awareness of the importance of the day, but that was not mentioned here, and that's not clear enough. So even repeating that whole area, repeating that whole string again would have been better here, just to make it 100% clear. So that would affect the coherence and cohesion score slightly. Now, an explanation of this. When cities and villages of the country, now the is if we're talking about a specific country, but we haven't mentioned any specific country. We're just talking about many countries, many nations. So that would have to be a, and we're just talking in general. When cities and villages of a country are decorated very well, so we need a comma. That's just setting the context. And this is the main part of the sentence. People think, so subject, verb. People think that the day is important as special days celebrations are incomplete if decorations are not done very well. As the celebrations of special days are incomplete. So this is word order here. And then there is the capital S should be a lowercase s. So word order mistake and also a punctuation mistake here. If decorations are not done very well. This leads people to search about the importance and history behind the day. There's a big jump here. So people will think that the day is important with the decorations. This results to so it's a big jump from there are decorations and now they're searching online. So what connected those two things? What connected those two things was it creates interest, and that leads to them. So it's not there's decorations and suddenly people are searching online. It's there are decorations that creates interest that results in people searching online. But we're just talking about it raise awareness of the importance. So do people need? I don't think this is. Well, no, I know this isn't relevant because it's the fact that the government is making a big deal about it, that they're drawing attention to it, that they're saying, look at this, it's so important, we're spending all this money on the decorations and everything. So I think that in itself shows the importance. And I don't think the people necessarily need to search about that. This is a different idea. So this here is unrelated to the question. This is unrelated to the main idea. For example, one of my friends visited the UAE on its National Flag Day, about which he did not know, but the decoration of the cities made him search about it, made him do research about it. Okay, so this example isn't appropriate. This development is fine, but this example, A, it's about a visitor, but your main idea is that it spreads the importance of the day among their citizens. So the example is of somebody who isn't a citizen. So you're not talking about the same thing anymore. So it's not relevant for that purpose. Also consider it's not essential, but an example is generally better if it discusses a group of people rather than one person. Because maybe your friend is the only person who ever did this. You know, you don't want to talk about one person because that might be the exception to the rule. I would prefer if you discussed a group of people. Okay. So let's jump back in and see if anyone has any questions for me. Abusilla, good to see you here. Welcome to the live stream. Hey, Marvik. Can I use pyrotechnics instead of fireworks? No. Pyrotechnics are more, when I think of pyrotechnics, I think of like at a concert where they have like fire coming up from the stage. No, it wouldn't be the same thing. It would not be the exact same thing. I think, no, it's not. Welcome to the lesson as well, Mahi. Okay, so next we're moving on to body paragraph number 2. And this needs to be about they get businesses. Now, it might become clear later on in the paragraph what this is about. So hopefully Amrata does not use this phrase, they get businesses again, because if Amrata uses the same phrase, I'm going to be lost. Whereas they could potentially save their task achievement score by making it more clear down here. The main advantage for citizens is that they get business out of this. Not sure. Still not sure. Okay. Governments rent decoration materials. So it's a grammar mistake here. Such as lighting. So it's another grammar mistake, another plural mistake there. Samrat, it seems like plurals are kind of a... Yeah, plurals are coming up a lot. So definitely, of all the areas for you to work on, plurals is the one that's kind of coming up most. Okay. Okay. Such as lighting from their residence and buy firecrackers from them too. As the amount is huge, citizens get benefited from the government. Get huge. This is a benefit. This isn't accurate. Citizens get benefited from the government isn't accurate. So citizens benefit from the government's spending. That's not clear. Okay. That isn't phrased very well. And we wouldn't say, you could say local businesses earn money. So that would make sense. The advantage for, okay, but then if it's, the question is about citizens, so you're talking about the general population, about everyone in general, not just, the small number of people who would make money from those purchases. So no, that idea isn't relevant to people in general, and that unfortunately means task achievement score is going to be a band 5 for this. And this is really, this came from not analyzing this question carefully enough during the planning process. Now the question is about citizens, and I know the business owners are citizens, but we wouldn't say, a handful of people benefiting is a benefit for the citizens. So it would more be this advantage is about local businesses. It's not about citizens in general. So no, that doesn't apply. For instance, many firecracker businessmen, maybe firecracker sellers, firecracker retailers, I don't know what they're called, firecracker, but definitely not firecracker businessmen, in India make a huge turnover by selling their products to the government, especially on national holidays. Okay, that's fine. But again, it's a small group of people, and it doesn't mean citizens in general. So unfortunately, that main idea is irrelevant. When everything else was looking good, I mean, you were on track. Like, based on this, you had a relevant main idea and some development of that. You were looking at a band 7 based on this. This part was irrelevant. The example was irrelevant. So you were never going to get a band 8. But if you could have repeated this standard, Amrata, that would have got you a band 7 if you had done a similar a similar response in the next paragraph. Okay, so that's unfortunate. Let me just pop in again and see, do we have any questions? Explosion, no. Explosion would be more from like an explosion is normally something you don't want, like something blows up, a bomb, or maybe like a tank of petrol or something. But no, explosion wouldn't be the same. Synonym of national holiday, national celebration. But again, if you don't know a synonym, there's nothing wrong with using that same phrase over and over again. In fact, it's the best thing to do. So if you're answering this question and you think, I don't know any other word, what am I going to do? The answer is you're going to continue using that phrase, national holiday, as many times as you need to. So don't feel like I'm after using it 4 or 5 times. That means I'm ruining my score. That's not the case. Accuracy, clear communication. That's the most important thing. Ofo, you're very welcome. Sova, can we use benefits as citizens can meet relatives and friends in a place where decor is done? Yes, absolutely. You could say the benefit is that they have a nice place to go. Yeah, it could be as simple as that. So it doesn't need to be complicated. What are the benefits for the citizens? Like where I live, when the decorations go up, like everybody goes to the city to take photos with their family. I mean, that's a benefit. They get to go somewhere that looks beautiful and take photographs together. So yeah, absolutely, that would be completely fine. Okay, so back to the next paragraph, and let me just remind myself what this third idea was. They can enjoy it with their families. Okay, so that's exactly what you just asked there, Sova. So yeah, Amrata has had the same idea as you. The further benefit of this is that people enjoy this with their families. Good. Governments generally arrange a show of fireworks at a particular place where people can go with their families. Normally, people are very busy in their careers and do not have enough time to spend with their families, but these types of shows can provide opportunities to spend quality time with their families. Good. A little bit overkill with the use of families in this. So you want to use pronouns. So let's just say the further benefit of this is that people enjoy this with their families. Governments generally arrange a show of fireworks at a particular place where people can go. Let's say, like, just change it up, like with their family members. Normally, people are very busy in their careers, very busy with their careers. And do not have enough time to spend with their families. But these types of shows can provide opportunities to spend quality time, let's just say, together. So change that to together. Because you have this, it just feels with their families, with their families, with their families, with their families. So it's that whole chunk of 3 words just. And I know I just said earlier on, if you don't have another phrase, repeat the phrase you have. So I stand by that. If you didn't know how to paraphrase that, you did the right thing, but you could improve on it. Okay, and then in the conclusion, we just want a repetition of the context and those ideas. So in conclusion, governments spend a large amount of money on decorations for National Day celebrations in many countries because it allows residents to understand the importance of the day and also benefits the citizens by providing business and allowing them to spend quality time with their families. So everything that a conclusion should have is contained here. So that's perfect. That's a very good conclusion. Another mistake with plurals. So Amrata, without a doubt, plurals are the area that you need to work on most in relation to your grammar. Okay. Sorry, now just let me find my most recent comment. Lucky, hi Lucky. Sir, can we get perfect sample answer for this question so that we can write properly? I have a lot of sample answers I can share with you. there's a limit to what a sample answer can do for you. I think one area, one thing that I see students do a lot, which is why you'll see in the link I'm about to share with you, I explain what you should do with the sample answers. But I quite often I'll see students use sample answers because they think I can't think of ideas, and if I look at someone else's ideas, that will help me generate ideas. But it doesn't. It's like I compare it to like trying to do math in your head with using a calculator. Like you're not going to get better at doing math in your head by using a calculator. You have to put the calculator away. So just be careful that you're using sample essays in a way that will help you improve whatever you're trying to do. You'll find a description there. So sample task 2. Okay, so I've just shared a link with you there. Sample task 2 questions and answers. So you'll find plenty there. Mahi, can we use loved ones? Yeah, it's okay. My concern is, would it be too informal? I think it'd be better not to. But I think in general, you would see loved ones used in a more formal context. So it's not academic though. No, better off not to. It's too informal. It took me a while to get to that decision. No, I see it used in other places. I personally think it's too informal. No, don't. Families, close ones, nearest and dearest. No, for the same reason as Mahi said. Definitely nearest and dearest, definitely not. Close ones wouldn't necessarily be family. No, so no, not those ones either, Lucky. Okay, so let's go back and look at Amruta's scores. So, task achievement is definitely a band 5 because they didn't have 3 relevant ideas. So that straight away is the reason for that. Coherence and cohesion, they can get businesses. That was unclear. I didn't understand what was happening there. This spread awareness of what, that wasn't clear. This was a big jump and it was a change of topic. That part highlighted in pink. So that affects coherence and cohesion. This get benefited, that was a problem. In relation to the structure, what to put in each paragraph, like having a paraphrase, an outline, having topic sentences, having the development under the topic sentences in the body paragraphs, what was included in the conclusion, all of those things are done well. In general, it's easy to follow, but those few mistakes that I just mentioned would mean a coherence and cohesion score of band 6. For vocab, we're actually looking at similar issues. So like firecrackers, it's not the same meaning. This get businesses, it's a vocab issue that affected coherence and cohesion. That's still a vocab problem. This organization of that phrase was in the wrong order, and that made it unclear. I can't remember what that was originally, but that was a mistake. Okay. Get benefited, that's not right. Honestly, the range here is good enough for a 7, but the number of mistakes, so it's the accuracy is the problem. So Amrutta, for you to improve your vocabulary, you're not so much looking at learning new words, you're looking more at learning collocations, looking how words are used. So it's more about improving your usage of words you already know, not expanding your range. Your range is fine. So don't go working on learning new words. Go looking and researching and taking note of collocations, how words are used naturally, and improving your accuracy. Your vocab score is going to be a band 6 because of those mistakes. I really see without those mistakes, and I know that that's kind of a null point, but without those mistakes, like the level of the range and the accuracy outside of that is enough for a 7, but not with the severity of the mistakes that you've made. For grammar, like I said, definitely you need to work on plurals. Seems like plurals is the main one. There were some other mistakes as well, but plurals is definitely the one that comes up most often. And if anything, it would be articles after that. But looking at the density of mistakes, you're not making that many grammar mistakes. So you're actually going to get a band 7 for grammar here. So that's 5 for task achievement, 6 for coherence and cohesion, 6 for vocab, 6 for grammar. So that's an overall band 6 for this answer. So there are things you can do to improve. I think planning your answer would have made the biggest. Planning your answer. Oh my God, I forgot to share my screen. Apologies. So Amrata, just let me know if any of that wasn't clear. But any of your answer that was affected by task achievement could have been resolved by being more careful with your planning. So it was that second idea was the big problem. Apologies for not sharing the screen there. That was very unprofessional. So task achievement is the area you need to work on most. Vocab, you need to stop taking risks, because it was just those few mistakes that hurt both your coherence and cohesion and your vocab score. Your grammar, I think more when you're proofreading is where you would need to focus. So when you're proofreading, you would need to look for articles and plurals in particular, and try to remove as many of those as possible. So you don't necessarily need to work on grammar. You just need to, when you're proofreading, focus on those things. Okay, so those are your scores. For anyone else, I do have another question for you, but if you would like a full one-on-one with me, I offer that service. So, for example, if you've done the IELTS test before, you didn't get the band score you need and you don't understand why. So let's say Amrata did the test before, got a band 6. Amrata doesn't know, is it my vocab, my task achievement, my coherence, cohesion, my vocab. That gives the information you need to focus on the areas that need your attention and improve your scores. So if you would like a full essay correction, just like Amrata had with me, I have that service. I also have free live feedback lessons. So those are on speaking, task 1 and task 2. And you can sign up with the same link. So whether you want my one-on-one services or you want the free live feedback lessons, that's the link for you there. I have an academic task 1 live feedback lesson later today. So if you haven't already signed up, you can sign up there, and I'll see you later today. Okay. Also, I had a speaking competition where people entered their name for a lucky draw, and I want to do that now because I prefer to do it live. Not that I'm not trustworthy, but I know people get disappointed when they don't win. So here is the list of students who entered the speaking test lucky draw, and I like to do it live just to keep it legitimate and make sure everything is above board. Sanya Tomer, congratulations, Sanya. And I'll be in contact with you and we'll work out a time for, oh God, my God, I'm making a right mess of it today. There is sharing my screen nightmare. Apologies. Okay, so Sanya Tamer, that is the winner of this week's speaking test lucky draw. And finally, I want to share the question for next week's writing competition. Nowadays, many young people enjoy copying the behavior of their favorite celebrities. What are the reasons for this? Do you think it's a positive or a negative situation? So answer that question. You can put it in the comments of this video, or I'll post the question again on Sunday. I'll make a post with the question on Sunday, so that will remind you. I believe that's everything. Does anybody have any questions for me at the moment? I must say I'm a bit embarrassed about my screen sharing mistakes there. But I have a few people here live, or if you're watching the recording, does anyone have any questions for me? If not, we'll finish there. And like I said, sign up for my academic live feedback lesson later today. Academic task 1 later today. I have a live stream tomorrow for task 2. And of course, you can get your essay corrected with the one-on-one service. So I will see you in one of those, and take care of yourselves. Amrata, let me know if any of that feedback isn't clear, if you need any more support with that, and congratulations to Sanya. Okay, thanks everyone, and bye-bye.